You're gonna make me laugh now. Okay.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Hola, Timothy Phoenix here, and welcome to my blog, which is all about rising from the flames of adversity to create the life of your dreams using the law of attraction. Today, I've got a very special guest with me. He hasn't turned up yet though, he's a bit late. So I found this geezer wandering around.
Brilliant.
He'll fill in for now. Brett Moran from Brett Moran TV.
Boom! How's it going, Timmy?
See, you okay?
Yeah, amazing, mate. Yeah, really excited to be here in this moment with you right now and do this, because this is really all about what your interview's about, mate.
Yeah?
So yeah, amazing.
Okay, so if we can start, we're going to do this is mostly about the law of attraction, and I'm out here living in Thailand now, and I'm on the island of Koh Samui, and we're going to do a little chat about some things that we've been manifesting, myself and Brett. So we'll start with getting to know Brett a little bit. If you don't know him already, you probably do, but I mean, maybe you could tell the good people a little bit about yourself, what the hell you're doing in Koh Samui, and take it away.
How did I get here? Okay, so yeah, as Timmy said, my name's Brett, and I've been living in Koh Samui for about 2.5 years to 3 years. Been coming to Thailand for about 15 years, and if I'm honest, I came to Thailand for all the wrong reasons: drinking, smoking, partying, girls. And in the last few years, last 10 years of my personal transformation, I come for the spirituality and I come for the creativity. And I just find living on an island like Koh Samui or Koh Phangan, these tropical islands, just make me feel happy, make me feel more connected to nature. And I think you've only got one life, so you might as well live in an environment that you really thrive and one that you really love. And so for me, I love coconuts, I love Thai massages, I don't take drink and I don't take the drugs anymore, and I feel high on life for being here. And I'm working on some projects which are making a change in the world, so it's a win-win. Yeah.
Cool. So let's talk about how you know me and how we met.
Online dating site. I saw his profile, I was like, wow.
Yeah, my Tinder profile is excellent.
Epic.
No. You throw me off. No, don't throw me off, Brett. Don't throw me off.
Where you gone?
I know what he's going to do with this video. He's going to throw me off. Okay, I've got my notes here. Okay, so how do I know you? Okay, basically, about 2 years ago, I was going through this massive spiritual awakening, that's what you label it as, and I was watching a lot of stuff on YouTube and Brett's stuff. I think at the time you were doing daily vlogging back then. So pretty much every day I would go and listen to Brett's voice and see what he was up to in Thailand and around the world, traveling, doing his yoga thing, but talking about self-development, law of attraction. And for me, it was very inspirational. I had been listening to a lot of people who were mostly North American, a bit older, and they were great people like Bob Proctor, Abraham Hicks. I know you're really into them as well, and I am too, they're great, don't get me wrong. But I think I needed something that was going to make it more real for me, and Brett's obviously English, same as me, about the same age, and both come from like a working class background, both used to do shitloads of drugs, and it just kind of, I just felt more of a connection there, and just made it more believable, all this stuff about the law of attraction and everything that he was doing in his life. I felt like I could attain that too. So yeah, so I was basically watching his videos every day and learning and developing myself. And there came a point a year ago where I said I needed to take more action, and I was inspired by Brett's vlogging and decided to start up my own blog, timothyphoenix.com. And yeah, I've been going for about a year now. But it was only a few weeks in that I decided I was going to get in touch with Brett, because I'd heard it was something that was a good idea to do. Actually, it was another vlogger, you might have heard of him, Gary V, who basically one of his big things is just, if you don't get in touch with people and ask, then you're never going to know. So I just thought, I wasn't expecting anything, just thought I might get a shout out, maybe a tweet, come have a look at my blog, etc. Maybe in a few years' time when my blog had grown, I thought maybe we might do something together, collaborate. I really meant a few years, and Brett will tell you what happened.
Okay, so literally before that happened, let me just take them back on my little bit of a story. Before that happened, I was in a yoga studio, and there was this lady doing all her photography, doing all her videos, and she had some like a team with her basically. And then me and this lady started speaking, and I was like, wow, like, you know, it must be so amazing to have a team. And she's like, yeah, it just, I feel so much more lighter, and sort of like so much easier to have people like write for her, to post for her, to edit the videos. And I was doing those vlogs, like when Timmy said I was doing them all on my own. I'm not moaning, but you know, it's a lot of hard work. So I take my hat off to Timmy to start his blog. You know, it's a hard work. It's lots and lots of hours involved in the editing and like, you know, overcoming your confidence and, you know, going through your fears. And I'm not moaning, but it was just a journey that I had to take. And as soon as that lady said, it's so much better with a team, I was like, in my head, literally straight away, I was like, I need a team. I need somebody that can help me with my bloody spelling and my grammar, because my spelling is not that best. I need somebody to edit my vlogs. I want a team to help me. And I kid you not, by the time I got home, literally there was an email in my inbox from some dude, from Timmy, saying, I can't remember exactly what the email said, but it was something like about, thanks for the inspiration, you can do some editing, or, you know, it'd be nice to connect. You can
I just asked for any help I could give, because I knew you'd said you were struggling to get, you either had too much on your plate and you wanted to go down to 3 vlogs a week from the daily ones. So I thought, well, you know, maybe I can help out somewhere. I didn't know what. I wasn't like expecting any payment or anything, just like whatever I could do, make a connection, maybe get a shout out or a tweet or something like that.
You really wanted that tweet?
I really wanted
He's not let the tweet go. I haven't given him the tweet and he wants to tweet. Sorry, Timmy, I will tweet.
Yeah, I want to tweet. But yeah, so yeah, like you said, it was there in the inbox.
It was insane. It was like I thought it, but this is why I love the law of attraction. I know you're probably talking. I was manifesting my little reality, which was Timmy. Timmy's manifesting his little reality, and then boom, these realities merged together, and this universal law of attraction, whatever you want to call it, it just. I couldn't have worked it out that it would be Timmy. Timmy couldn't work out that I would reply to him and this adventure would happen. It's like, there's something bigger that helps us all, right? It was just amazing how it was so connected.
And like I said, I wasn't expecting a quick reply or anything. I wasn't expecting to get what I got from it, which was like, he asked me to do some editing work, so I did that for him. And yeah, and then went on to expand this idea of this team by inviting me to come out to Thailand. This was literally within a few weeks of me sending that email out. So my mind was just blown by this. You know, I wasn't expecting that at all. And yeah, you got your team together. Maybe you'd like to talk about kind of this idea of this team that you got together, and also the house that we're living in, which we're filming from now in Koh Samui.
Yeah, it's amazing when you do the vlog, you can take around the house and just show them. I'm sure you've done that before anyway.
Already done it?
No, don't. He's done it. He's a better blogger than me, you know exactly what he's doing. Yeah, I drove past this house. I'm not sure how Timmy's kind of filmed it, but there's the road basically down there, and the house is on a hill. It's kind of like on these kind of like stilts, isn't it? Yeah. And I used to ride past this house on my motorbike, and I'd look, and I'm like, wow, that is amazing. It's got a swimming pool, 5 bedrooms, it's on the hill, and the sunrise in the morning is just ridiculous. It's like just the sky is like orange and it's just beautiful. It's just.
I'll twist the camera around a bit and show you the view.
Yeah, it is amazing. So I would literally ride past this house, and I'm like, if I ever had that team, this is where I would want the team to live. Because in my mind, I want people to work with me, not for me, work with me to create contribution to the world, but also live in paradise. Like wake up, eat healthy, do yoga, look at the sunrise, start around midday, do some work, chill out. And that was my vision, and that was my dream. And then obviously like Timmy was the first one that emailed me, and I was like, wow, if I had somebody to write like that, or Timmy's attitude, because it's not just about the writing that Timmy did, for me it's more about the attitude of, he watched the blog, somebody said contact him, he contacted me, offered to do some work for free. Not that I wanted the work for free, but he said, I'd love to help you out. And I thought, that's the kind of motivation, the drive, they're the kind of people that I want to be around, because you're kind of taking action and you're going for it. So this law of attraction, all of it works, but if you don't take that action and put yourself out there and sometimes overcome your own fears and doubts, because most people would have probably thought, oh, Brett's not going to speak to me, or why should I bother emailing him, this isn't for me.
And that's what I would have thought, by the way, until I went on this kind of little journey and learned from people like Gary Vee and other people who are really successful with blogging. I would have thought exactly that.
Yeah. And most people do, and it holds you back, right? You know, I get those thoughts, I still get them. Like when I used to ride past looking at this house, I was like, how am I going to afford the house? I don't know how much the house is. And then I just remember all the stuff that we learn and what we read. It's like, don't worry about the house. Just visualise there's going to be 5 amazing people swimming in the swimming pool, doing vlogs in one of the rooms. Like Timmy's got his own apartment here, it's amazing. And now we're actually doing this vlog, and that was like, what, a year ago? Maybe this journey started, how long ago?
It was a year.
About a year ago, and we are here now. So it happens a lot faster. Yeah, and then so yeah, that was my idea, and then all of a sudden 4 other people came. You know, there's some changes in the team, it's kind of like that's what happens, but now we've just been filming upstairs, we're filming down here, and there's another member of staff upstairs. There's a swimming pool. It's like, I don't know about you, Timmy, but being in this moment right here, doing this vlog, this feels 10 times better than what I could have visualized and imagined, because the mind is so limited, it can't actually work out how amazing it's going to be. And now we're in this moment, I feel like I want to explode thinking, holy crap, this stuff really works. It really does work, doesn't it?
I still haven't really processed it. Yeah, I still haven't gotten over it. I literally wake up, and most mornings when I get up, I open my curtain, I can see the sunrise and the ocean. I'm like, I actually say to myself, this is ridiculous. I do, almost every morning I'm like,
amazing.
This is just insane. And think about it, 2 years ago I was watching his videos from my spare room in my mum's house. I didn't even have my own place. I was watching his videos. A year later, I'm working with him, he's offered me some work, and like 2 years later, I'm living with him.
Just let them know you're not living in the same bedroom.
That's, yeah,
we're not. He looks at his own sunrise.
Yeah, just so you know. But yeah, that's how quickly it happened, and I could not have envisaged that, and where I am. So it's kind of still
kind of new.
It's strange, but I'm like, I'm saying it's ridiculous, but I'm laughing when I'm saying it. It's like, this is just insane.
Sorry to butt in as well. Some people would think that 2 years is a long time. Like you're saying how quick it is, and I would say how quick it is. And for some people, I think like 2 years is a long time to achieve that goal or to manifest something. Do you know what? In the grand scheme of things, it's just like that. And so like you've really got to kind of get into this and take this action. And Timmy's going to share the techniques which he does on his blog, and he's got some really great ideas about manifesting and law of attraction. I listen to Timmy a lot, and I've used some of your techniques in my yoga classes as well with my clients and students. And the reason why I'm saying it is because some people will be put off for like 2 years. It's like, but then if you don't do those 2 years, if you don't put yourself out there, then you could have like 20 or 40 years of the same patterns, the same habits, the same addictions, wherever you're stuck. So I think like that 2 years, it might seem like a long time, or even if it's 5 years, but at the end of the day, it goes so fast like that. And then when you're there, it's so worth it. Like I would have waited another 5 years for this, because this feels so great right now. Yeah,
like I say, 2 years, when I think about where I was 2 years ago, it wasn't like I was living a good life or anything, and you know, I had no money, no real job. I had to move back in with my parents. I basically had a really bad anxiety, so I was hardly talking to anyone most days. So that's 2 years ago. I've gone from
and now
that.
you're on the camera talking to people.
Yeah, and I'm here on the camera talking to people. I've got my own blog. I'm living with Brett Moran from Brett Moran TV. I'm working with a team of people. I'm doing what I love. I'm writing every day. I open the window, the curtain, and there's sunrise there in the ocean. I'm in Thailand. That to me, 2 years, that is nothing. I would never have guessed that was going to happen in 2 years. That wasn't even in my plan. My plan, I hoped I might move back to London and continue what I was doing, which I didn't really love, to be honest. But that was my dream. It just showed you how limited my thinking was. I wasn't even trying to manifest this, and yet it happened. And I believe it's because I took action and got into alignment with what I really want to do, and took a few risks, a few chances as well. So yeah, okay, let me move on to the next bit. And I wanted to talk about this room in particular, which I manifested. I've done a blog already about this, where I spoke about how actually Brett, before we moved out here, showed us a video. Everyone was moving in a video of this house, this amazing house, and I decided, right, let's give this one a go. This was the first manifestation I did. I've been doing all the big things, but I hadn't been doing the smaller things. And so I just thought, right, let's give it a try, and I'm going to see if I can get that room. Now I didn't know who was going to get the rooms, I didn't know how it was going to work out, I didn't know the process, and I didn't know, even when I got here, I still didn't know what room I was going to get. And I was like the third person out of the third person out of the four to arrive. So I could have got any room in this house, and they're all great rooms, but I just really wanted this one. It is the biggest one as well.
It's like a whole apartment, it's not like a room.
It is.
It's like an apartment.
It is. So I just wondered if you could maybe explain your process in deciding who got the rooms. I just think it's interesting to know that I had no say in this whatsoever.
Yeah, so like Timmy said, I just made a quick 2-minute video where I walked around the whole house. I showed people the room. The video didn't really do any justice because it's a lot bigger and better when you get here. And I just went around and showed it. And then like you said, I think he was like the third person in, but every person started to pick their room. And then in my mind, I was just like, I know it sounds such a cliche, but I was like, Timmy would love it. And he didn't tell me that that's what he wanted. I just thought, yeah, this room was just Timmy's room, or his apartment, whatever you want to call it, because it's just got its own level. You've got your own level. It's got this beautiful view. And I just thought, like, I kind of like felt like I knew Timmy, and as I walked in the room, I just thought, oh, this would be for Timmy. And then boom, you came along and you said, this is the room that I've been manifesting in my mind. And I was like, no way. And I think that goes back to like, there's something bigger at play. There's like a bigger energy than us. If we think that we're in control of all this stuff, and we are limited, we can't really work out. So there is something that we do need to set intentions and have the positive thoughts and law of attraction. But then there's also something bigger that I would have never known to pick this room for you, never known you did manifesting, and you could have never made me pick the room for you. It just, it's like synergy or interconnectedness, where it just manifests. If you get out of the way, I think, if you put the intention out there and then you just get out of the way, as long as you take action and then get out of the way, and then I think it manifests a lot faster and a lot easier. Sometimes we become so attached to it. Like if you didn't get the room and you became attached to it because he was in another room, it could have spoiled his whole 6 months because he wanted the room. But I'm sure, kind of getting to know Timmy, you set these intentions, you try to manifest what you want, but without attachment. You just let go of it. And that's I think that's why it made it easier. Sorry to butt in, but that's just why it made it easier, and that's exactly why you're in this room now, because it felt just working with you. It just feels easy and effortless.
Yeah, with me, when I was doing the visualizations, I did it a few times because I had a couple of weeks before I actually got here. So I did it regularly, but it wasn't from a place of desperation. It was like, I wouldn't have cared which room I got. I honestly didn't care, because for me, just coming out here was unbelievable anyway. I couldn't really give a shit about the room that I was in a great house like this. But I just thought it was just an experiment for me. So I had no attachment to which room I got. I wasn't desperate at all. And I think if you have that desperation or any kind of negativity about it, you'll push it away and you won't get what you want.
Such a great point, and the best example for me to give, and it's not against like males or females, but just imagine that you've got a male or a female and they desperately want to be loved. You really want to be in a relationship, and you're really desperate for somebody else's love. Doesn't matter if you're a male or a female, right? If you come from this desperate energy and you're trying to attract love, you're going to get something that matches up to that same frequency. So it'll probably be drama, it'll probably be chaotic, and it'll be from a place of neediness and attachment and desperation. And what I have found is when you've got that kind of energy, like you say, for instance, in this relationship, this person is trying to, like they're desperate for love, it actually pushes the other person away, it repels it. And I think that this is such a silly, small example, but it's exactly the same as the law of attraction. If you're desperate for money, then you actually push money away from it. If you're desperate, you're coming from a place of worry or a lack. If you're desperate for love, you actually start to push people. Nobody wants to be around a needy person. If you're desperate, like in Timmy's examples, if you're desperate for the room and it's like, I need to get that room, I would probably give you the other room, because somehow, energetically, even though unconsciously I wouldn't have even thought of it, but I would have just felt this energy, because this energy is all connected, and I would have just put him somewhere else. And I think it's because what you said is like, you come from a place of fulfillment, I come from a place of plenty, a place of abundance, whether it's a relationship, money, or even manifesting this amazing room. When you push that out to the universe matches that same frequency or vibration. Such a great point, yeah.
It was a great point, thanks.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's the room manifestation, and Brett was also involved in another manifestation. I've only done 3 lately, kind of smaller things. I mentioned before I got my plane flights, I got window seats on both flights and a nice comfortable flight, which I really wanted. And then I got the room on the same day, and then recently we actually sat down and did this one together. I don't know if you remember the coconuts.
Yeah.
And when we could talk them through it together. So I think we were talking about just having a general chat about the law of attraction, and I think you asked me what I was going to manifest today, and I couldn't really think of anything at the time, but you came up with.
I can't remember, it was a surprise. Was it a coconut or a surprise? Yeah, but just, sorry to butt right in. The reason why this is very important is because when I talk about law of attraction, I'm always like, manifest your biggest dream, think of something amazing, pardon me, where do you want to be in like 5 years, etc., etc. Timmy, when we were sitting down, just reminded me of the small things, and he's like, well, I'm just going to manifest like we said, a coconut or a butterfly, or I wanted a surprise, or just some small little things. And what this has really reminded me, Timmy really reminded me, that these little things are creating this bigger energy from the big life goals. So sorry to butt in, but it was such a great point that you reminded me, even though I've been doing it for years, you really reminded me to manifest on a moment-to-moment, daily basis. And when you start to get those little successes, because let's face it, if you want to manifest £1 million and you're waiting for it in an hour, it might not come. I like this stuff, but I'm real as well. But if you manifest maybe a butterfly or a coconut or a hug from somebody and it comes, that starts to boost your confidence, your belief. And then the next day and the next day. So Timmy, I really want to thank you, mate, for reminding me of this little technique, because it's opened my eyes up again and I've got more excited about the law of attraction. Sorry, back over to you. This is your review.
No, that's great. Actually, I was going to ask you to say just that.
Oh,
so
you manifested it.
Yeah, I manifested it. Yeah, so actually, you said coconut,
yeah,
and I actually said papaya.
I remember that.
Now, then we went away, and it was late at night, I think it was, and then the next day, I woke up and thought, hang on, we get free papaya at the casa. Every morning I eat papaya at the buffet and it's free. So I didn't want that to kind of ruin it and get to the end of the day, oh, have you manifested the papaya? Oh, well, yeah, but it's free. So someone had to give me a coconut or buy me a coconut. That was the deal, so I changed it to the same as Brett's and just go for a coconut. And that same day it was actually on Brett's retreat. And someone on the retreat bought a round of coconuts, literally a few hours later. And for me, that kind of, I was like, that was a moment, that's, okay, this is weird. Because for me, I'd never had a manifestation come true that quickly. So it just really kind of, since then I've been like, well, where can I take this?
What's next?
And I know you later, what happened with you?
So I was manifesting a coconut, and we went out, I think we went out to the Beach Republic one day, we was listening to some music, everyone was going, and I was just aware of my own monkey voice, like, nobody bought me a coconut. And in my head I was like, oh shit, it's not like, you know, is it working? And so this was about kind of like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I just noticed my little voice saying, where's my coconut?
So I got mine and he wasn't there.
And I missed a round of coconuts, and I was like, and I didn't know about it. I was like, where's my coconut? And that is another good point, because like the mind, the ego will start to doubt that it's happening. And I was like, oh, you know, I don't want to say to Timmy like the day after, and I was focused on what I didn't want. You know, what I didn't want not to get a coconut. And so anyway, long story short, it got to about 9 o'clock in the evening, still hadn't had a coconut manifested. And I just got up from the table, we were sitting at the casa, and I was just about to say goodbye to everybody. I was going to come back home and like go to bed without my coconut, moan about the law of attraction not working. And I swear to God, one of our friends, Nick, he said, oh, does anybody want a coconut? And straight away out of my mouth, I went, no, I'm going home now. And I just went to walk off, and I was like, that's your free coconut. So I turned back around and went, yeah, Nick, can I have the coconut? And then he gave me this coconut, not from a place of desperation, because I'm not desperate for coconuts, although I love them. And then he gave me this coconut, and I sat there, and I swear, it tasted like the most sweetest, freshest, mouth-watering coconut, you know, I'd ever tasted. And I went to bed with a massive smile on my face, because even though the mind doubted it throughout the day, I still manifested that coconut. And again, to some people this might sound really simple, but our intentions, our thoughts are creating reality. So you might as well jump on board this positivity and enjoy the coconut.
Yeah. I mean, now that that's happened, I'm going to be doing lots more kind of daily ones and growing this and see where it can go. It's all a bit of fun and experimentation, but also I think it's something I'm going to make more serious as I go along. And as you say, it's not just about manifesting the big things. I think a lot of people forget about the small things every day.
And on the flip, a lot of people forget to manifest the big things. They do the small things, they forget to have it. Like, you do need a big vision, you do need to see where you're going to be in 5 years, because we did this on your exercise upstairs. You know, where you're going to be in 5 years, or even I'm like 20 years in front. And I think when you have that vision, that future self, you can then look at your behaviours and your habits, what you're doing now, and see whether this aligns up to the millionaire that you want to become. You know, if you're lazy and not getting out of your bed and not starting a business, then you're not. You don't deserve the £1 million, because you're never going to attract it. You know, if you want to be in love and you see yourself getting married and finding your soulmate, starting a family, but then you're at home and you're not asking a person out on a date because the fear stops you, then you're not aligning with your future self. So the small things are so important, but also we need a massive vision which scares us, because then we have to change who we are now in order to become who we want to be in the future, I think. That's what I find anyway.
Yeah. I want to ask you about some of your biggest manifestations now. There's one in particular that I'm thinking of. I think you know which one it is.
The Jack Canfield one?
Jack Canfield.
Yeah.
So tell them about
the Jack Canfield story.
This is amazing.
Okay, so this is the Jack Canfield story. Many years ago, I used to be a drug and alcohol counsellor. So I would get a group of homeless people and drug addicts, and I'd create a thing called movie night. And so they would come into my drop-in centre and we'd watch movies. And obviously, because I was into the law of attraction and the movie called The Secret, I'm sure you spoke about it, I would sit down with all my clients and I'd get them some popcorn and some free cans of Coke. And then I would put films on like The Secret. or the peaceful warrior, things like this, to inspire these guys just to think positive or just to feel a little bit good. Anyway, one night I put on The Secret and all the clients left except one guy, and he came up to me and he just said, like, you know, what's your dream, Brett? He said, I love The Secret, this movie's amazing. And this guy was like a homeless heroin addict, like on the street, down and out, and really beautiful person. And he said to me, what's your biggest dream, what's your secret? And I was like, you know, I just want to share my message. I want to be like in a movie. I want to kind of like talk about law of attraction. I just want to let other people know it doesn't matter where you've come from. It's like who you want to become and where you're going that really, really counts. Because I was a drug addict, I was in prison, and so like I was inspiring my clients, but then I wanted to inspire more people to say, let's step it up. So in my head, I thought being in a movie was a good idea. And then my client said, I said, what do you want? He said, I just want to be happy. And I was like, damn, you know, I'm so materialistic. But it was my vision, you know, it's what I wanted. Anyway, a few years after that experience, my friend phoned me up. She said, Brett, I'm going out for a meal with a film director. Would you like to come and meet him? He's into spirituality. He'd like to know about your story. Again, I was in prison, I was on drugs, and I sorted myself out. And this guy just thought it was an inspiring story. To cut a really long story short, I went and met this guy. We hit it off, you know, connection is key. We had a great meal, and then he invited me to be in his movie. It's called Choice Point. And then I didn't know anything about the movie, and I thought I just had a really small part in this film. So I went along, done a bit of filming, and then it turns out they invited me back to do a lot more filming. We spent like a couple of weeks, different locations, and they made my story quite long throughout this documentary. But the most amazing thing is that they interviewed people like Desmond Tutu, Richard Branson, and believe it or not, Jack Canfield. So there's me a few years ago in the drug and alcohol drop-in centre, just saying that I'd like to be in a movie because I'd been inspired by Jack Canfield, and then a few years later, like Timmy says, you can't imagine how insane that is, that I'm actually in a movie with Jack Canfield himself. And it doesn't end there. About a year or two after that, like Jack Canfield, he never really used to come to the UK that much, and when he did, it was sold out. A few years after, Jack Canfield was coming to London. And Jack Canfield probably doesn't know this, he does now, but he didn't know this at the time, but I cut out a picture of Jack Canfield's book, The Chicken Soup for the Soul, The Success Principles, and I stuck his picture on the ceiling, and every night when I'd go to bed, I'd visualise myself being an author, because at the time I wasn't an author, I never had a book, I never had a YouTube channel, and I would look at Jack Canfield and he would inspire me, so I'd visualise and visualise. So then 2 years after being in a film with Jack Canfield, my friend told me that he's in London, I bought his ticket, went and saw him, and the first person he picked up on the stage, he didn't know me, he pointed at me and picked me up on the stage, and he'd done this like amazing technique, showed me about law of attraction, and for me at the time it was like my celebrity, he was like my hero, and I actually wrote out a letter. I took my daughter with me, he met my daughter, I gave him my letter, and I just said thank you so much, because when I watched that Secret, it just reminded me to think positive and to dream big and to take action. And so it really, Jack Canfield doesn't know I'm looking at his face on my ceiling, but it really does show how important all these things are. And then about 6 months after that, I got my first book contract, and then I became the author. And so yeah, that's the Jack Canfield story. And the most amazing thing about this story, it's not all about me and it's not about Timmy, it's about all of us, it's about everyone. The most amazing thing about it is about 4 years after I showed that movie The Secret to the homeless people, that client that came up to me and asked me what I wanted to be in a couple of years, he emailed me and said, I just want to thank you, Brett, and the movie The Secret, because I'm now off of drugs, I've got a home and I've got a job, and I've been clean for nearly 2 years. And I just thought, wow, it was amazing. And so this law of attraction, it can manifest a beautiful place in Thailand, it can manifest writing a book and being in a film with Jack Canfield, or for a homeless person, it can manifest getting off of drugs, getting clean and getting back into life. So we've all got our own personal dreams, but that's the magic of it. None of us want the same thing, we all want different things. And so if it works for us, like, it can work for you. Like, imagine where you want to be in the next 6 months. It's amazing.
Yeah, thanks man, that's I love that story. Yeah. I don't know if you had any other ones in particular. You can't really top that,
mate, you know, there's so many. Most stories probably sound far-fetched to some people that are not into it, but you know, I came to Thailand, you know, Costa now, our friend that owns a yoga place, and he let me borrow his motorbike one day. So I borrowed this motorbike, it's a nice bike, the bike that I've got, borrowed this motorbike, rode around, and I was like, for me, riding a motorbike is like a sense of freedom. Got no shoes on, I'm just riding along the coast of Thailand, like the Koh Samui, the coconut trees, the ocean. I was buzzing, I was really, really buzzing. So I gave him his motorbike back, flew back to England, and then I started to visualise. I've actually got the picture somewhere on my Facebook. It's a picture of me on a big black motorbike, and I'm visualising me riding this motorbike. I came back a few months later, and Costa came up to me and said, do you want the motorbike? and he gave me the key to that exact motorbike that I was on. And I had to do some work for him, and we basically did like an exchange, and he gave me the key to that motorbike. And I was like, you're having a laugh, aren't you? And so I visualised a motorbike, but I could never visualise the exact motorbike that I was already on. And I'm still got the motorbike now. You know, I'm still riding it around on my own. It's literally just down there. Yeah, I ride it around and I still feel free and it feels exciting. So yeah, there's you know, I've got off of drugs. I've got out of thousands of pounds, like 20, 30,000 pounds worth of debt and started saving money. I think the most important thing is, such a cliche, but it's like who you become. Like all the material stuff is amazing, being in films, writing books and having houses like this. But when you just feel satisfied and content and free inside, and you feel positive and you feel happy and you wake up just excited, it feels better than waking up feeling low, depressed, and like I was, like addicted to drugs. So the external reality for me is now a reflection of the internal transformation. So when I feel great and everything's inside and you're positive, it's obvious you're going to manifest a motorbike. It's obvious you're going to manifest a beautiful person like Timmy. It's obvious you're going to raise the vibration and be in such beautiful environments because you've done the work in here. And a lot of people might miss that. We kind of visualize and we think about this stuff on the outside, and then we just forget to do the inner work. And so for me, I'm more passionate about saying, do this stuff, and then the rest is so easy. Life wraps itself around this vibration.
Yeah. So things do seem to fall into place like with very little effort, I think, when you're really in that zone. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the story. Before we go, I want to mustn't forget to show people this view.
Yes.
The sun's gone in a bit, which is going to spoil it.
That's right. I've got my Instagram live here, so I'm going to grab that camera out and show people.
Turn this around.
Okay, guys. So if you're still watching, Timmy is doing his vlog.
This is the view from my room.
Do you want to open the window door?
There you go.
This is what Timmy's manifested.
It's pretty amazing, right?
So there's lots of waves from people. Boom, there's Timmy there, look. So if you're still live with us, you've been listening to me and Timmy doing a video interview about the law of attraction and how he is smashing it at the moment and how we're both smashing it.
Okay, so I just wanted to end really by asking you, what do you think it is? What the big question.
Oh, you left the easy question to the end, right?
What is it, the law of attraction? How is it working? What's your views on it at the minute? I know they might change.
Yeah, they always change. Yeah.
But what's your view at the minute?
Where I am in my personal journey now is the law of attraction is just a label, it's just a concept, which is amazing to get our brains to understand something which is far beyond what we could ever understand. Yeah. So if I went back to like 5-6 years ago and I've got Jack Canfield's picture and I'm doing all this law of attraction stuff, like it was law of attraction was everything. I was like manifesting, doing this, boom, boom, boom. Now I'm very easy and flowy with it because I'm kind of in the flow of the universe. And so now I wouldn't even call it law of attraction. I would just call it like, I don't know, magic. I don't know. So and the reason why I'm saying that is because at first we need to, like everything, to understand something we need to logically understand it, because the brain just won't understand it. It's like trying to understand what God is. It would be insane to think you really know what, or universal energy or the universe, you know, all this stuff. It's just too big for our limited minds to fathom. So first of all, we have to put it in a box. That's my first thing. So law of attraction, it's like a concept, and it is amazing. So if you're at the journey, just keep on going with it. And then as you kind of progress through your personal transformation, I don't know, I just get into this whole thing of like awareness and being in the universe and just being in tune with the universe. And again, back to the more work that you do on the inside, the easier it seems to get. So now I don't really have a name for it. You know, I have no idea what it is. I wouldn't have a clue, but I just play with it as much as I can, whether it's like you say, doing a coconut, trying to manifest a coconut, or just a smile or a hug from somebody, or whether it's like I've got a big massive vision and I'm just going for it. Now I'm not really bothered what it's called. Yeah. It just doesn't bother me. It's just like it works. And the more importantly, like you would probably say, is like feel it. Just feel that excitement, feel connected to the universe, feel the dream in your brain, and it just happens.
Yeah, I think I spent like the last year or two trying to figure it out, what it is, and like reading up on quantum physics and getting really deep on it, and kind of wondering, is it God, is it science, is it, and now I'm at that point where I just feel I don't really give a shit. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You know, it's still interesting, don't get me wrong, and I still want to learn about it, but I'm not, for me, I think unless you have a deep experience with it, you're probably never going to truly believe in it.
Yeah.
You can. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, whether you believe it or not, it's still working, right?
It's always working.
To really come back to basics, common sense. It's like if you wake up and think positive about the day, chances are 99% you're going to have a positive day. If you wake up thinking life is crap and I've always got bad luck and I'm depressed and it's not working, and I'm not saying you're not having it hard, but if that's the attitude that you have, even if you feel like it, I guarantee that you're going to have a really bad day. And so whether you believe in whether it's the law of attraction, Krishna, the universal, divine, whatever you want to label it, God, consciousness, it goes on. It doesn't matter. It's just like positive thinking, negative thinking creates a positive or a negative day. But yeah, I tell you what, it isn't a load of bullshit, and it isn't just a big hype, and it's not a sales pitch. Timmy's not trying to make any money from this. We're just both sitting there sharing from our heart and our passion, because I think that's the secret to the law of attraction. Once it works for you, help other people, and then it works for you even more, and then help more people, and they help more people, and then that to me is just like the ultimate buzz. It's just like share it. Yeah.
That's a good way to kind of
end it. Boom.
Before I do finish, I just want to ask you, this camera was Brett's.
Maybe it was. It still is.
So
you're not manifesting it that fast.
This camera is Brett's.
No,
isn't this the one you used to do your
vlogs? Yeah, every day. Yeah.
See that?
So he's now even manifesting my camera. Do you want my boxer shorts next? I'll wash them first.
Yeah, I don't wear boxers. I'm a Bruce man, so I would do.
Yeah.
But,
Jack Canfield, I've got Jack Canfield. You're not going to have some pants on your CV, no. I'm really joking. And that's another thing, what we're doing now, have fun with it. Just be relaxed. When I started doing my vlogs and I started doing this, I was a bit nervous, I was a bit tense. If I could go back and tell my younger self something, it's like play, have some fun, because the universe loves it. If you look at a child, it sounds a bit weird, but sometimes I go to the park in Thailand because it's near the coffee shop. I drink my drink, and sometimes I just need a break from the laptop, a break from life, and I just sit and look at the kids. They're like 5 and 3s, and they're running around and they are just playing. And I think as we grow up, we become so serious. We get mortgages, we get bills, we get negative thoughts, identities, we get all this crap. But look at a child, they're just in the moment. And they're playing, and they manifest instantly. They want to go down the slide to have some fun, they go down the slide. They fall over, they dust themselves up, and they dust themselves off, and then they get back up. So I would say, like, have fun with it, like play with it, like just be curious like a little kid and just play with it. If you can bring that playfulness back into your life, it's got like an excited energy. And I think that energy manifests a lot faster than I need to get money, I need to get a girlfriend, I need to get, I need to get out of debt, I need to kind of lose weight, because that's a negative vibration straight away. It's like, just play. I'm going to see what I can create. And that's what I'm getting from you, very playful.
And I'm just, because I'm out here, and it's thanks to you, I mean, I just want to say while I'm here, thanks for giving me the opportunity to come out here, thanks for giving me the room, and with the amazing view. And thanks for giving me a camera to play around with. And I really appreciate it, man.
Mate, so well.
It's been great living with you, great getting to know you a bit better. And like I say, I'm just living each day as it comes right now. I think that's one of the reasons why I'm starting to manifest stuff quite quickly and regularly, because I'm now finally, after years and years and years and years, in alignment with what I'm supposed to be doing and what I want to do. I'm enjoying it. It's like nothing can knock me. Nothing can get me negative now, really, because nothing can stress me out, because I've been through all this shit stress for years and years. This for me is easy life, this is like amazing. So once you get into that alignment, I think that's when it starts to come quickly, and that's when it's starting to happen for me, and hopefully it will continue, but we'll see. It'll be on the blog, don't worry, I'll show you. But yes, one more thing just before we go. Thanks so much for coming on, by the way, doing this.
Well,
and thanks for everybody watching, and over there. Thanks for everybody watching. And that's I haven't explained what that is, but that's Brett Man's live there on Instagram. So I'm just
thinking anyone over there.
But thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. TimothyPhoenix.com. Like and share, and come and see what I'm getting up to, and hopefully learn a bit about the law of attraction and how you can apply it in your life too. Thank you so much for watching. And just one more thing before I go, can I get a thumb out, finger down, pow? I know you don't do this anymore, it's not part of your brand anymore. It's not, but you used to do this when I watched his videos. You always used to end on a thumb out, finger down, pow. He doesn't do it anymore because it's too good. He's not good enough for that, or that's not going to film me. But I'm still going to get you to do it now to finish the video. So come on.
Thumb out. You got to do it as well, then.
Oh yeah.
Thumb out, finger down, pow. I ain't done a phrase, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So if you guys have been watching live,